John Mitchell was an average guy living in an average town. By day, he worked a mundane office job, and by night, he tinkered with computers and surfed the web. One late night, John stumbled upon a hidden forum on the dark web, advertising a mysterious drug called Eclipse. It promised unparalleled intelligence, but the warnings were ominous and vague. The temptation of immediate brilliance was too irresistible to ignore. After much hesitation, John placed an order. A week later, a small, unmarked package arrived. Inside was a single pill and a note that read, "Consume at your own risk. Effects are permanent." With a mixture of excitement and fear, John swallowed the pill. Within minutes, he felt a surge of clarity and understanding. He could solve complex problems effortlessly, recall obscure facts, and perceive patterns invisible to others. John was ecstatic, unaware of the price he was about to pay. Days turned into weeks, and John found himself unable to sleep. At first, he welcomed the extra hours, diving into projects and learning at an astonishing rate. He began to invent new technologies, write groundbreaking papers, and solve unsolvable equations. The world saw him as a prodigy, a miracle. However, the lack of sleep started to take its toll. John's body began to show signs of deterioration. Dark circles formed under his eyes, his skin grew pale, and strange, dark spots appeared on his body. His mind, although brilliant, became increasingly unstable. He started experiencing hallucinations and paranoia. John's condition worsened. The spots on his body grew into painful sores. His hallucinations became more vivid and terrifying. He saw shadowy figures following him, heard whispers in the silence, and felt an oppressive presence around him at all times. Desperate, he sought help from doctors, but no one could understand or cure his condition. Isolated and scared, John delved deeper into his work, hoping to find a solution. He hacked into secure databases, experimented with dangerous chemicals, and pushed the boundaries of human cognition. But the more he tried to fix himself, the worse his symptoms became. One night, amidst his research, John uncovered a horrifying truth. Eclipse was not just a drug. It was an experiment conducted by a clandestine group aiming to create superhumans. The permanent sleeplessness was a deliberate design to keep the subjects in a constant state of productivity. However, no one had ever survived more than a year. John realized he had less than a month left before his body completely gave out. He tried to expose the group behind Eclipse, but they were always a step ahead. His attempts to contact authorities were thwarted, his evidence destroyed, and his credibility ruined. With time running out, John decided to confront the creators of Eclipse directly. He tracked them down to a secluded laboratory hidden in the mountains. Armed with his genius intellect and sheer desperation, he infiltrated the facility. Inside, he found other victims, all in various stages of decay. The sight was gruesome, but John pressed on. He discovered that the group was planning to release a more potent version of Eclipse to the public. In a final act of defiance, John sabotaged the lab, setting off a chain reaction that destroyed the facility and the experiment along with it. John barely escaped the explosion, collapsing in the forest. Authorities found him the next day, barely alive. John was hospitalized, and while his physical scars never fully healed, his mind began to recover. He shared his story with the world, warning against the dangers of tampering with human nature. In the end, John Mitchell's tale became a cautionary legend, a chilling reminder of the price of playing God with our minds. But what happened to John after the hospital remains a mystery. Some say he disappeared without a trace, while others believe he continues to hide, haunted by the shadows of his genius. The world may never know the true fate of John Mitchell, the Genius Insomniac.